standing by, someone who's not enjoying the same type of weather, is our very own Kristine Bellino, who is now in Raleigh, North Carolina. Good morning, Kristine.
Good morning, and I'm so touched by the fact that you still call me our very own.
Our very own.
Always. We still have your picture up here in the studio, by the way.
I don't think I ever had a picture.
Oh, you do. Yep.
Sorry. We don't still. We've always had since you left. That's what I was trying to say.
All right. So it looked like this was really dissipating and was kind of pooping out, if you will. And which is an awful description, but sorry, I just couldn't think of anything else.
I think that's a technical meteorological term.
I believe it is. But that's kind of part of the problem, though, right? It's just stalling and dumping a whole bunch of rain. And, by the winds, gusts over 100 miles an hour in spots.
Right. And so where I am right now, the winds are only between like 30 and 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
Actually, I went into my car to call you just so I could, take a look at the clouds and everything that are moving overhead, and they're moving quite quickly. But the Research Triangle right now is just getting some rain. There are some scattered power outages, but really nothing to talk about. The ones that are really getting hit are on the coastline because still more than 100,000 people without power. Right now, there are 150 water rescues waiting for people to rescue them in the town of New Bern, which is one of the towns that's being hardest hit. And you're absolutely right. It's not the fact that this is, now a weakened Category 1 storm. The storm surge remains a Category 3, which I didn't even know until that you could retain that.
Yeah.
But one of the meteorologists described it as the storm is actually chewing away at the coast because it just is staying there. And it's only moving like 6 miles an hour. I think it maybe went 10 miles an hour at one point, but about 3 o'clock in the morning, it was only moving at about 4 miles an hour.
Wow.
So you have this behemoth of a storm that's just crawling around the coast, and it's just wiping the coast away. So that's hitting them really hard.
It's funny how up here we'll look and say, Category 2, please, give me a break. Yet in reality, we don't know. We have no clue what that would be like. A Category 1, what it would be like. It's not something that, I hate to say, but the weather you're getting in Raleigh is not something that we're used to.
Yeah, but it's for Raleigh, it's not that terrible. The other thing that's complicating matters is there's about 1.7 million people who have been evacuated from the coast. There are maybe a few hundred who didn't evacuate, but the 1.7 million people, if you think about that, that's like Oneida and Herkimer counties combined times 5.
Yeah,
and all of those folks, probably will not be able to go home for about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so that's a lingering issue.
Could be worse depending on how bad this ends up in the end. What about the yesterday or the day before people were out? They were surfing. They're out bringing their kids. They're out on the beach. They're having a good grand old time. Meanwhile, these people were in some of these areas along the coast were a part of a mandatory evacuation. And this happens every storm. We tell people, listen, if there's not going to be anybody here to help you, and then they get stranded, and we have to go in and rescue them.
Right, and that's the one thing that rescuers were saying yesterday was the biggest thing that you can do is make it so that we don't have to come after you, because coming after you once the storm hits is going to be nearly impossible. But they're out there. They've got the National Guard activated, the police. Bless all those emergency responders who have to stay out there and are, dealing with people who are, for lack of a better term, stupid.
And do you have a big population in Raleigh of in that area of people that have been evacuated to your area?
A lot of people have been evacuated to this area. Wake County was one of the evacuation counties. So there is not a hotel to be had here. There's not a bed and breakfast to be had here. Many people who I know are harboring friends for the weekend or week to come. I know somebody who went to Home Depot and bought 12 of those big things of water because she's got 8 family members and I think 6 dogs and 14 children in her house this weekend.
Wow.
So, everybody came to this part of the coast, or Charlotte. A lot of people went to Charlotte.
Well, for places like that, this could almost be a bit of an economic boon that you're seeing people coming in and they're spending money. But then on the other hand, are they spending money?
They are on water and gas and everything else. So the
Yeah.
grocery stores, for them, it was, they would never say that it was, good for the
Sure.
good for business,
Good for
but it was an
business.
unfortunate boon to them. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's fortunate that that you didn't get hit all that badly, and we appreciate your updates through all of this, Kristine.
You're very welcome.
All right.
Stay safe.
We'll talk again. We're pretty safe up here. It's 85 and sunny through the weekend, so not bad.
Nice.
Yeah. Not often we get to say our weather is better than yours. Not
That's
often
true.
at all. All right, Kristine, thanks so much.
Thanks.